You there you are, and welcome to The Upgrade, our weekly news show from MAGFAST. Hey, Kate.
Hi, we have a great show for you today.
We certainly do. I'm excited. Sean is here with some factory fresh footage, which we'll show you in just a second. Plus, we got a secret word lined up for today, Kate?
Yes, we do, and it will give you 3 chances to win in our weekly $1,000 draw.
Which consists of beautiful electronics, MAGFAST stuff. It's your choice. It's $1,000, and it is administered by Kate. So you know you're going to be in good, safe hands. 3 extra chances to win for nothing. You just wait and hear the word a little bit later. Click on the link. You're going to be good. Also, will you please subscribe and like? Right underneath here, we've got buttons for what? For Facebook,
YouTube, follow us on Twitter, and we actually got an email last week from the wonderful Charles Lozano, and he let us know that the best way to ask people to follow you on LinkedIn is to say connect with us on LinkedIn.
Because LinkedIn's all professional. So yeah, so everybody, we'd love it if you connect with us, please, on LinkedIn.
But really, thank you, Charles. That sounds so much better.
no, seriously, Charles, thank you. And if you and YouTube people, just smash, as always, smash that YouTube subscribe button. All right, you know that for years now, one man has been working tirelessly day and night to bring MAGFAST into production. I've done a little work on it myself, and Kate's been busy too. But Sean Herzinger, can we bring Sean up on the screen, please? I have him. You'll see me looking down because I've got Sean on a screen down here.
Hi,
hey, Sean, how are you?
Okay, hi, Simon.
All right. Sean has been working tirelessly, and we have some new footage, right, Sean, directly in from where the tools are being made. And you a couple of weeks ago, right, you showed us the making of the tools. We're about to see the very first thing that comes off of the tool, yes?
The result of the tooling, yes. Plastic injection molding.
Tell us more. Now, I just want to say before, because I know you've got some footage. Here we are. I just want to say, this is the production of stuff is a dirty business. Making the tools, you saw it. You could have. It was like an operating theater. Right?
Yeah, a clean room. Yes.
This looks a little rougher, but it's actually a very nice facility, right, Sean?
Oh yes, this is state-of-the-art equipment, and they're injecting. They take plastic beads, they melt them, molten plastic, inject them into our molds. The plastic fills all the cavities, and then finished parts come off the tool.
Yeah, it's a state-of-the-art injection system with an aging and not state-of-the-art shelving system just in front of it. I think because you can see they put the trays on there. But let's work through this. So just so we understand, it's everybody. If you're joining us for the first time, so the tool is essentially the Jello mold. If you want to make Jello, you have to have the reverse of what you're trying to make, right? Does that? Yes. So our tool is in two halves to make each of the parts, okay? Yes. And it takes forever to make the tool. If you didn't see this, Sean took us through this 2 or 3 weeks ago on the upgrade, the making of the tool, which is fascinating. Here, these are the first shots, which if I remember correctly, are called T0 parts. Is that right, Sean?
That's right. There's T0, T1, T2. So this is the earliest result of injection. And it's a little rough around the edges, but that's by design.
Right. Now, as you were reminding us earlier before we went on air, you have a block of metal, you cut away the metal, and where you've cut away the metal, that's where the plastic will flow. You can cut away metal, but you cannot add it, right? That's why it's such a delicate process, yes?
Yes, you don't want to cut too far, or you've got to start again. So you start by cutting it just a little short, shoot some first shots, as we call it, take a look at your results, and then fine tune.
Yeah. So this is, as a sculptor is going to go. If they're making a sculpture with a nose, they don't want to go beyond the edge of the nose. They want to stop a little bit short of the edge of the nose until they're sure they've got the overall thing right, and then very carefully go in. And if they're lucky, they get something as perfect as this as a result of their work. Please pick up from me here, Sean.
Yes. So what we're seeing are the first shots of one part of life coming out, and the workers placing them in a tray. And these are not really suitable for mass production, but they will be studied, make sure there's no warping, make sure the plastic's flowing the way we like, and then, like I said, fine-tuning the tool to give the final result.
Okay. And we've got several videos here, right? Should we skip on to the next one?
Yes.
Oh.
So I think this is going to be a close-up of the result of our shells.
Beautiful. And if we pause it there, I mean, yeah, it's like, I feel the same way. I mean, that doesn't look bad, right? But it's kind of matte because of this, because of what you're saying. This is just the T0 part.
Yes,
this is all good before a slower, more careful process of polishing, polishing down, right?
Right, because we have such a smooth, polished finish. One of the last steps on our tooling will be to polish the metal surfaces, which will result in a highly polished plastic surface.
Right. So that polishing, presumably, this is T0. There'll be T1. Presumably that comes between T1 and T2 is the polish. Yes.
Actually, it's one of the last things done.
Okay. Super. All right, and so just for anyone who's getting their bearings here, on the left of your screen, well, on the left of your screen is the three of us, but in the middle of your screen is one of the shells for life. It's upside down, but it's got the LEDs at the top, and the logo will be down at the bottom, and you'll place your phone right in the middle. Then on the right-hand side of your screen is an identical shell. They just happen to have placed it in the tray the other way around.
Right.
Yeah. So this is pretty great. Another video?
Yeah, let's look at the next one. So this is the opposite half of the shell, kind of a cap-like piece that's coming off of our injection molding.
Yeah, so you can see that's very thin. Those of you who've been with us for a while may have seen in previous shows when I've been holding the life model here, which of course I was so excited to come and show you these videos. I've left it in another room, but you've seen that there's kind of the front shell, and then there's the back piece like that, and it all sits on the single amazing construction in the middle, right? The monocoque construction that we talk about sometimes.
It's our frame. We'll actually see that coming up.
Yeah. So let's go on. So we've seen the front and the back. What's next?
So just zooming in on these back panels here, you can see they make quite a few pieces. They can send off to different departments. Some people looking for how the plastic's flowing, some people looking for if the plastic's warping or not. So injection molding is a mass production process, so a lot of parts can come off the line very quickly. So there's no shortage of parts for study.
They can, and I made the point recently, these tools are being made with a production capacity of up to 1 million products each, right, Sean?
Yeah, there's just a tiniest amount of wear every time they're used. So you select quality of steel to produce as many parts as you anticipate needing. So we went to the top.
We went to the top. Let's put that in perspective. Life. Many of the folks watching this got a great deal on the Pro Kit and a number of charges, but the retail price of Life, because there's nothing else like it out there. I mean, we can't find anything to touch it. $99. So $99, 1 million units. This tool, the reason that we're taking this amount of care out of is that this tool is designed to produce $99 million worth of charges at retail. So it's not something that we take lightly. And there are a few other people than you we would trust to do it, frankly, Sean. All right. Let's go on, because there's a couple more. They're very short, these videos, aren't they? But there's a couple more of them. Now, what on earth is this?
So these are internal parts. Our supporters won't actually see these when they get their Life chargers, but these are part of the internal frame, which makes the product function and be so strong and reliable.
Yeah, super important. This is, as I recall, is a piece that's kind of, if I'm holding Life like this, it's kind of like a little sort of superstructure near the top. Am I right, Sean?
Right, well, on each end, actually, yes.
Yeah, that holds a number of kind of parts in place internally, and then by turn is itself held in place. And anybody who's done a bit of engineering will recognize. Do we have a closer up shot coming?
Yes, I think in the next video we'll see the parts, and this is how they come out. They're actually made 2 at a time, and then they're broken off those little tree branch looking pieces in the middle.
So that's like when you were a kid, you'd get a kit, like a model airplane or something, and you break all the parts off. Yeah,
made with the same process.
Yeah. So we would never do that for external parts, right? Because you'd see the break marks, but for something internal, which is just a structural part that no one's going to see, that we're able to do that.
Yeah.
These not so much these ones, but the previous. I don't know, Sharon, if you can you bring up the previous video again? I wanted to try and get a close up on that part that was in the previous one just now. Anybody who's familiar with manufacturing at all, these are parts that would have been incredibly hard to make just a few years ago, right, Sean? Because if you look at the complexity, the Jello mold, you can't design a Jello mold to do it, right? So how I mean, in sort of 15 seconds of everyday language, how on earth is this thing produced? Look at the complexity.
and your great description of how this works, with the two shells, the two halves of the shell, like a clamshell type situation. You can add to that with what's called sliding actions, which are pieces which actually slide in and out, and they can form these more intricate shapes in 3D to give us what the performance that we need from these parts.
Yeah. And would it be fair to say that while slide actions have been around, they've always been relatively hard and complicated to do, but the tool making tools that are now available make it much easier to produce complex side action systems that make a part like this.
Right, as we saw in the previous videos of the actual tool making itself, it is highly computerized and very high tech.
Yeah. So a part like this is commercially viable today, whereas it would have been ridiculously expensive. You'd have achieved the same thing with several simpler parts in the past. Is that right?
Right. There's a lot more you can do these days.
Yeah. Phenomenal. I've sat in long meetings, by the way, folks, with Sean, with Rich, who's some of you know, Kate's dad, who's been making products for years as well, and a very experienced 3D designer, Christo. Some of you know he featured in one of the early updates as well. And we've all sat there going, this part is really complicated to it. Are they going to be able to make this? And it's just incredible what they're able to do these days. Is that all of the videos now? Is there one more?
That's it.
Is that all the videos, Sean?
Yes, that's it. Yes.
That's it. Listen, it's I know, Kate, you were having a full body experience at one point there, weren't you? The goosebumps were kind of going. I could tell. This is
Yes.
I mean, you've been doing this for a while, Sean. This is a sort of pivotal moment. It's an exciting moment when the first stuff comes out of the mold, right?
It's a real milestone, yes, because it's one of the longest waiting periods in pre-production is making those tools that we've been at it for weeks, and to see the result come off in mass, that's awesome.
Yeah, phenomenal. All right, so those shots, those parts. We're going to get one or two of them sent over so we can have a look at them, physically here in the.
Going to be FedEx. Yes, that's right.
That would be great. And let's just plan out where we are at the moment. So you've seen life. I mean, we can see that's coming down. And I've said to everyone, I said it a few times this year. Is this wait, and then suddenly the thing starts to move.
That's right.
I wired an amount of money yesterday for the next stage of the process that you could buy quite a nice house in some parts of the country with that amount. I mean, seriously, it's kind of, you could certainly do a hell of an extension or kind of kitchen up. It's a lot of money, and it was a down payment on the next part of the process. So things are starting to move extremely quickly now, and extremely quickly. Extreme is 10 days behind, something like that. Life?
Yeah, just about a week and a half behind. So we'll have a very similar video to share in the future of these much larger parts for Extreme.
Yeah, fantastic. If you're free that day, it'd be great if you could come. Otherwise, we'll show folks. We'll bumble through the video ourselves, but it'd be great if you could join us for that, Sean. Yeah,
sure.
And Air, we're just waiting for confirmation now that Air is in tooling. Again, if you've been closely with us for the last few weeks, in order to get this tool of the right quality, Air is also a $99 product. So in order to make the tool that's capable of $99 million worth of retail product, we made some small adjustments to the design. I showed you watch, was it last week or the week before? I showed you that in the upgrade. And that tool has now cleared all of the tooling pre-production. What's it called? DFM, right? Design for manufacturing, the DFM
That's right.
tool process.
Yes.
Yep. It's now cleared of that, and we're just waiting for confirmation that the tooling has started. We're waiting for confirmation that there is another bath of olive oil at work. Again, watch a couple of weeks ago if you don't know what I'm talking about. Sean, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my God.
Thank you,
Great
Sean.
to be
fantastic.
here.
That was
You are welcome.
so exciting.
Yes.
I loved it.
All right. We'll see you again soon, sir. Thank you so much. I love that man. But before I dissolve into tears, do we have anything else? Oh, we've got to do the secret word.
Yes.
Kate, what have you chosen
secret-
this week?
This week, in honor of the parts that are being created, it's super exciting. I believe you said they were called shots. So our secret word is called shots.
Shots. Yeah, what we were just looking at. We didn't say the word very much as we were looking at, but those are called shots. They're the first shots, the T0 shots off of the machine. So SHOTS, shots, is this week's secret word on the upgrade from MAGFAST. And I think we've got a button below as well where you can click on that. Go put shots in, you get 3 more chances to win great MAGFAST gear and cool other electronics. Kate will get you hooked up. I'm really excited to see that stuff, aren't you?
Yes, I'm so excited. I couldn't contain my squealing. I tried, but you know.
So we're going to unpack this for you in the weeks ahead. I just want to mention, I promised to keep you up to date with movements at the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission. Those who've been following on for a while, a few years ago, they set up some new rules that allowed smaller, newer companies to raise money from their customers. You guys are amazing. We raised some money on Thanksgiving Day of last year. And we've been waiting for some new rules to come out. They were published a while ago. And what's the latest news is the new rules, they didn't replace the old rules. They supplemented the old rules. This is classic kind of legal nonsense mumbo jumbo. And what the lawyers have found, and the SEC has now confirmed this, that if you put the two sets of rules together, what's it called? You get an interference pattern. You know what I mean, Kate? When someone's on television with stripes and you get like a pattern from the stripes intersecting with the stripes, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. Yes.
So if you look into the interference pattern between the old SEC rules and the new SEC rules, it turns out that companies that have done as well as we have in their previous fundraising are required to produce an audit rather than a simpler set of financial reviews. We completely support that. We want to make sure that there's total transparency for everyone. We actually have audit underway anyway, so it's going to be another few weeks, and we'll let you know when we've got something to tell you. And that's your full and fair upgrade from MAGFAST. Thanks for doing this with me every week, Kate. It's it's just so great to do this with you.
I love it. It's so fun.
All right, and thank you for helping us. We're charging for good.
Charging for good.
Yes.